Step number one in exiting your job in 2021 is making the decision. So for me, it took me a few months to make this decision because, as I said, I began to kind of just get restless and just an uneasiness when it came to the job that I'm in currently, and just a more desire and hunger to really want to do something more, do something for myself. So, in order to exit your job in 2021, the step number one starts with making the decision. And making the decision can really look different for everyone. But for me, as I said, it came over the course of a few months. I think eventually, you start to feel that kind of push, that drive, that's something in the inside that kind of pulls you to say, hey, I'm really not happy here. And I think that's what happened to me. I think I woke up one day, or either I went to work one day, I sat down and I said to myself, I'm not happy here anymore. I I don't enjoy doing this anymore. And that's when I decided, I don't even know if it was that defining moment, but it was the defining moment where I made a decision to exit the job. But I think it is the defining moment that made me realize that it was time for me to start thinking about what's next for me. And I think that's what happened to all of us. We sit in these positions and we sit with these jobs, and eventually we start to get a little uneasy, we start to get a little uncomfortable, and we start to think about, should I be doing something more? And if I want to do something more, what is that? For me, like I said, it's about making the decision, deciding for yourself that I want more. A lot of times people make that decision to move on from a job is because they don't feel like there's any growth opportunities in a position. And sometimes in order to grow, you have to leave. Because if you feel like I'm in a position where I don't think I can go any further, or I'm not being recognized or promoted to go any further, then maybe it's time for me to move somewhere else and go after that position that I want that will help me grow and accelerate my career. For me, since I am launching my own brand and building out my own business, it's more so about my defining moment is okay, so I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not happy currently in this position anymore. And I just want to do something more meaningful. I want to do something different. This is just not me. I just begin to feel like I'm working somebody else's job. I'm doing something that somebody else should be doing. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. It's time for me to move on. So, the first step in deciding to exit your job, no matter what your salary range is, it's about making the decision. What is that defining moment for you to say, this is really not what I want to do anymore? Or maybe this was never been what I really wanted to do, but I took the job because, you're a responsible person. You have responsibilities. You have a family to take care of. You have yourself to take care of. But you do know that you want to grow. You want to grow in different areas of your life. And if you are career driven, then you want to move up in your company, or you want to move up to another organization. If you feel like where you are, you can't go any further with your current company, then it's time to exit. That's all that is. But making the decision is the first step. And it can be scary to even talk about that decision or to even think that decision, because if you've been in a certain position for so long, I know people have been in positions for over 20 plus years, and then they get very defined in terms of like, this is all I can do. If I move on, I can't make a career change. I just want to continue where I am. But, I'm scared to even take that step just to move. So many people are so afraid just to make the decision, just to say it out loud that I want to do something more. I don't want to do this anymore. This is just not me. And for me, I tell you, I go there every day and I feel like I sit in my meetings, I talk about planning and strategy, and I have my one-on-ones, and I do all these different things, but still I'm here saying to myself, this is not for me. This is not the job for me anymore. It used to be. I used to be inspired to come. I used to love the organization. I used to love the job. I used to love the atmosphere. And for me, it's about atmosphere. And when the atmosphere shifts in a direction that is really not me anymore, then it's time for me to move on. I have desires that God had planned in my heart to be my own boss, to offer opportunities to other people, to build my own business, to launch my own brand. And I think that's what that pull is for me. God is telling me, listen, you asked me for this. You've been sitting in this position for so long, and now it's time to make a move. It's time to make the decision. And if you don't make the decision now, when are you going to make the decision? It just takes you thinking about what you want to do. You don't even have to figure out what the next step is yet. You just need to make the decision. Just decide. You can say to yourself right now, I want to do something more. Or either if you want to stay with your current organization, you can make your decision right now to say, I want to move up. And maybe moving up for you might be moving out of that particular department and moving somewhere else so you can see growth. I mean, all of us get in our jobs and all of us take these opportunities because we want to grow. We want to have a better life. We want to better provide for our families. You know, we launch our own businesses because we want that freedom to build something of our own. So you just have to make that decision for yourself. But for me, the decision was, I can't do this anymore. This is not me. I have to move on. I have so much to offer the world, and I'm sitting here and I'm holding it back. And I don't want to hold it back no more because it's revving up in me to the point where it has to come out. I have to start taking steps. I can't just sit and be stagnant anymore. So that's what the defining moment for me was when I walked in work that day. I was sitting in that meeting. I'm listening to everyone. I have nothing against the organization. I have nothing against the people I work with. They're awesome people. But when I sat there in that meeting, all I could say to myself is, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this no more. It's time to do something more. It's time to do something greater. And that's when I just made the decision to say, you know what? I'm going to build my own brand. I'm going to build my own business and I'm going to launch it. I came home and I told my husband, I don't want to do this job anymore. I want to do something more. I want to be my own boss. I want to build my own business. I've always had that desire. I've always had the ideas. I've always been working on it on the side, but now it's really time for me to put it up to the forefront and put everything I have into it. And he supports me in that, you know? And that's another thing I think that's very important when we make these steps to change our lives, especially when it's talking about leaving a job to build your own business or just leaving a current position to go somewhere else. You know, if you have a spouse or someone that, that you're also responsible for, someone that's responsible for you, it's a decision that you have to make together. And when you don't have that support of your spouse, it can be difficult to make that decision. It can be difficult to try to move up. But sometimes you're going to have to take steps for you because what someone else's fear should not be your fear. You can't take on other people's fears and doubts. You have to know for sure that what decision you make is going to work for you. And that's just the way it has to be done. So the first step in exiting your job, the first step in the strategy is to make the decision. So we're going to talk about every step along the way, every step that I feel I've been taking along the way. And like I said, to make this decision did not come easy. It came over the course of a few months when I just started feeling like something is different for me now when I go every day, and then that one day that defining moment just pops in. And that's when you're like, okay, yeah, it's time to make a move. It's time to do something different. And that's when you'll do it. But that is the first step. If you want to exit your job in 2021 and have a really good exit strategy where you don't burn bridges, but at the same time, you build bridges for your own business, for your own brand, or for your own career path. That's the first step. So make sure you tune in, guys. Listen, make sure you sign up to this channel, subscribe to this channel if you want to continue with me in these steps. We can take these steps together. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button as I begin to take the next steps and let you know what my pain points are and what my fears are. But still, I'm taking steps of confidence. I'm taking steps of faith, although I'm afraid, but I'm still doing it. So let's do this together. So subscribe to the channel so we can do this journey together. Hit the notification button so you can get when I upload new videos and we can talk this out together. Also, if you like this video, if it's something that adds value to you, like it. Share it with someone else that just maybe need just the motivation. They might not be ready to take these steps, but maybe they just need the motivation. Maybe they just need to see someone else who's doing it and who's not afraid, who's fearful, but still taking steps to do it. You know what I mean? Faith without works is dead. And if you want to have faith and you want to believe that God's going to bless you, you have to take these steps. You have to do it for you. You can't be so scared to the point where you don't take the steps. Don't let fear overtake you. There's going to be some fear. There's going to be some doubt because it's something new and it's a change, but you can still do it. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, and also hit the like button and share this video with a friend or family member that needs to hear it. I'll see you guys soon.